First, thank everybody for being here today. I really appreciate it. I realize it's time your newscast starts, but wanted to make sure that we got this information out as soon as possible. So a week ago today, Mr. May and Mr. Lark had displayed a complete lack of respect for humanity and fired off rounds into the crowded Nike store at the Mall of America. A week ago today, this is what took place. But today, at approximately 2:25 p.m., Mr. May and Mr. Lark were arrested in Chicago, Illinois. Mr. May and Mr. Lark were observed coming out of a barber shop getting haircuts. After they got haircuts, they got into a vehicle. The vehicle was driven by a female, and the vehicle was traffic stopped by members of the Chicago FBI Fugitive Task Force, which is made up of members from the Cook County Sheriff's Office, Chicago PD, and the Illinois State Police. Mr. May and Mr. Lark were taken into custody without incident, which is what we wanted to have happen. That is the best outcome. So currently, they are in the process of being booked into the Cook County Jail in Chicago, Illinois. And then they're going to be extradited back. They're going to have an extradition hearing to be extradited back to the state of Minnesota. A week ago, we said that you can't shoot up the mall and expect to get away with it. You can't commit these acts and think you're going to enjoy the freedoms of a free society, and you're getting haircuts. And now we've locked them up on the 30th anniversary of the mayor, 30th anniversary for the mall. Mr. May and Mr. Lark are locked up. Our detectives did a phenomenal job. The people in Chicago that helped us out they did a phenomenal job. Growing up, we were taught if you do the crime, you do the time. But that is somewhat shifted to you do the crime, you do another crime, you do another crime, you do another crime, and now you do the time. We're not doing anybody any favors by not holding people accountable. So it's my hope that Mr. Lark and Mr. May get the help they need to turn their life around after they're held accountable for their actions. And here at the Bloomington Police Department, we do have social workers, so we'll offer our social workers to them should they choose to get that type of help. But it's my hope that this discussion takes place after they are held accountable for their actions. Our detectives did a phenomenal job, and I know this traumatized a lot of people, but today is the best outcome that we could expect. Everybody's safe. Everybody gets to go home to their families tonight who was involved in apprehending Mr. Lark and Mr. May, with the exception of them, because we locked them up for their behaviors. So with that, I'll take any questions you may have.
So why were they in Chicago, and did anybody else help them in addition to obviously the three that have already been arrested?
We believe that they had roots in Chicago. It's still an active investigation, but what I said 2 days stands. Anybody that helped them, and we're able to find that out, we're going to lock them up too.
I think last week there had been discussion of a possible blood trail at the mall. Was there any sense of whether or not they were injured or somebody else was injured?
No, so, and I thought we covered this. So there was a blood trail at the mall, and it turned out that someone who was fleeing the mall after the actions of Mr. Lark and Mr. May had fell and broke their nose. It was a young lady that had that happen to her.
Our sourcing had indicated that the families were working to get some back channels to get these two suspects to turn themselves in. Did you have any indication that that was going to happen?
No. No. And at any time, they could have turned themselves in. So it's been 7 days. You're getting haircuts. 7 days. Sorry, I digress a little bit. Any other questions?
What do you think that this sends a message to anybody in the future who would attempt to have this kind of violence at the Mall of America?
We're not doing this to send a message. This is, again, Bloomington, our model is respect. Because we respect our community, we're going to protect our community. And if you commit these acts in Bloomington, you can expect that our officers and our detectives are going to lock you up. And it's not this hard approach that we're taking. It's just what you can expect to get out of the Bloomington Police Department, and we're going to treat you with respect and dignity while we do that.
Do you know how long you before they get back to Minnesota? You might have mentioned that. But
Yeah. I don't know. So basically the way this process works is they have a right to have an extradition hearing. So basically they get to make the determination if they want to fight coming back to Minnesota. They have a legal right to do that.
Do you know when the extradition hearing would be?
No, not yet. We just arrested them, or they were just arrested at 2:15.
Can you talk about the charges that they face?
Yes, second-degree assault and aid and abet, reckless discharge of a firearm, and I think there's a couple more on there that should be listed in the criminal complaint.
do you know if they were armed at the time when they were arrested?
There was a weapon found in the vehicle, and we're not sure if that gun was the one used at the mall yet.
Do you know what the connection was to the person who was driving them?
Not yet.
Was she arrested as well?
It's still an active investigation.
Would you please hold those up again?
I was going to ask you, any more clarity on how that fight started? I know we talked about that last
Yeah.
couple days ago.
Not yet. Not yet. So now that we have them in custody, hopefully we can start figuring out the rest of that stuff. And I know Commissioner Harrington's here, and I just want to thank the state for the assistance that, the BCA provided us, and State Patrol set on the perimeter for us while we were searching the Best Western. So in Minnesota, we do a very good job in law enforcement in terms of our partnership, and that's really unique to the state of Minnesota. So again, we're happy to have the commissioner here today.
Did you say it was the FBI who conducted the practice?
It was the Chicago FBI Task Force. So basically, that's made up of members of Chicago Police Department, the Cook County Sheriff's Office, and the Illinois State Police Department.
How did they know that it was them?
Through investigative measures. Any other questions? All right, sorry to have you all at Bloomington during newscast time. So, thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mhm.